Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we are making this adorable little amigurumi bunny with a heart. This is the Love Bunny. You could give this to somebody you love or eliminate the heart and just have a cute little bunny. This kind of reminds me of like a Peep, except it has legs. So something similar to like an Easter bunny or this one has a heart, so it's like a Valentine's bunny. But you can play with it, around with it, play with the pattern, and kind of make yours as big or small as you want. This one is, let me get my measure tape out because I can measure how tall this one is. Yep, it's about 7 inches tall, which 7 inches is about 18 centimeters. So that's how tall this little bunny is. But I'll get into the supplies we need, and then I'll get into making this cute little bunny. A big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn today. We are using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. My main color for my bunny is going to be Pale Plum, and then the heart color is going to be Perfect Pink. But you can use any colors that you want. Also, you're going to need some polyfill to stuff your bunny and your heart, so make sure you get some polyfill. And the size hook we're going to crochet this piece with is a G size hook, which is, this one is a G6 hook. It's a 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, and this one has a fancy wooden handle on it. This one's a very fabulous hook that is hand carved, handcrafted, and very nice for the ergonomic feel and crocheting for long periods of time. I highly recommend this hook to any crocheter. If you're new to crochet or if you've been a crochet veteran, this is a really nice crochet hook. I got it at the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. You can get yours. I'll just put the link in the description of this video where you can get these hooks. Also, you're going to need a scissors and a yarn needle to cut yarn, sew things together, sew in your ends and all that stuff. And then I have this piece of yarn here. This is my stitch marker. I don't have a legit stitch marker, so you're going to need a stitch marker even if you have the plastic ones, or if you have just an extra piece of yarn, just to mark your rounds, because this bunny is made in continuous rounds. You can see there is no seam on this bunny at all. So that is all the supplies you're going to need. Like I said though, there's links in the description of this video, links where you can get all these supplies, link to the written pattern on yarnutopia.com for this bunny and this heart, and also links to all my social media. So make sure you follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, and make sure you follow me on Snapchat too. I'm getting married soon, so I'm going to be Snapchatting quite a bit of my wedding and everything. Also, make sure to follow, just subscribe to our channel here on YouTube as well. So we're super excited. So let's now just get started and make this cute little bunny amigurumi. Let's start out with our main color. I'm using the Pale Plum for this. We are going to make a slip knot, so let's put the short end over the long end, then fold this down, and then pull the long end through that hole. And there's your slip knot. You can insert your hook into the loop, and we can start. So to start off, we're going to make this bunny from the bottom up. So we're making the legs first. So let's chain 2. 1 and 2. This is the first leg. We're going to single crochet 6 times into the second chain from the hook. So let's go into that chain right there, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and there's a single crochet. So we're going to do 6 of those. So that was 1, so go back into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 2. Here's 3 and 4. Here's 5 and 6. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is work in continuous rounds. So I'm going to put my stitch marker to mark the rounds where the beginning is. So I'm just going to stick that piece of yarn right there. And also in this pattern, I'm going to work in the back loops only. So usually we work through both loops like this, both loops, both loops, both loops of each stitch. But this loop that's furthest away from you back here, that's the back loop. Okay, so we're just going to insert our hook right in there and then make our single crochets. Okay, so that's working in the back loop only in continuous rounds. So for round 2, we are going to put 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So this first stitch right here, we're going to go in the back loop, then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do that in each stitch around. So this back loop of this next stitch right here, put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2. And this next one, 1 and 2. And this next one, you can move your stitch marker over. There you go. Oh, I only have 3 stitches left to put 2 single crochets in. So you can just continue watching me. After round 2, you should have 12 single crochets around. So make sure you have your 12 stitches and we can go on to round 3. So let's move our stitch marker up. And for rounds 3, 4, and 5, the next 3 rounds, we're just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So this first stitch right here, back loop only, put 1 single crochet in there. And just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for the next 3 rounds, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to meet you up when I finish round 5. I'll come back and we will fasten this first leg off, and then we have to make the second leg. Alright, I just finished rounds 3, 4, and 5, and now when we're ready to fasten off the first leg, we're going to go underneath both loops of this next stitch right here, and then yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, and then to fasten this one off, we're going to chain 1. We're going to cut our yarn sort of long, about 6 inches, because we will use that for sewing later. So I'm just going to pull that all the way through that chain 1 and then pull it tight, and that's fastened off. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and there is leg number 1. Now for leg number 2, we are going to repeat the same exact thing, except we're not going to fasten off. So I'll show you, we're going to start with a slip knot. If you need to, you can rewind this video and make the same exact leg, except for the second leg, we are not going to fasten off. So I'm just going to do that, and then when I finish round 5 of this second leg, I'll meet you up and we'll attach the 2 legs. Like I said, do not fasten off, but I'm going to attach the 2 legs, and I'll show you how to do that next. Alright, once you finish round 5 of the second leg, you can see it right here. You want to not fasten off. We're going to grab the other leg that we have right here. And what we're going to do is, first off, just set this one down here. We're going to first do 1 round on the second leg that you have your yarn attached to. So I'm going to stick our stitch marker in there. And we're just going to put, kind of just repeating what we did for rounds 3 through 5, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for the second leg that we just made. We're just going to single crochet around. So it's basically like around 6 right now. So we're just doing a quick single crochet around here. But we're going to then attach the other piece after this round here. Okay, so now I'm back to the beginning here. So I just did a quick single crochet round now. Now I'm going to grab this one, and you can see where we fastened off in this stitch right here. We're going to go in the back loop of this last stitch where we slip stitched into, right there. Make sure your yarn is back here, okay? And then we're going to single crochet into that stitch. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And then single crochet in each stitch on this piece. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, back loops only. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and we're back to the beginning now. So this long piece that we cut earlier will sew in. There will be kind of like a little hole in here, so you're going to want to sew that in a little later. But now we're back to the beginning. You can see our stitch marker right here. You can see this stitch is worked in there. That's the last stitch on this piece. So now you should have 24 stitches all the way around. So your piece should look something like this. Okay, so now we're going to move our stitch marker up right here. And now for this, that was round 6, so we just attached the legs together. Okay, so these are the 2 legs, and that's what it should look like. So now going on to round 7, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and we're going to start in this stitch right here on this leg. and we're just going to put one single crochet. Make sure nothing is twisted or anything. We're just going to put one single crochet in each stitch around, just like this. And there should be 24 stitches now. So now this is round 7 that I'm on. So if you need to follow along with the written pattern, you can do that. You should have 24 stitches at the end of round 7, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 8. Alright, I just finished round 7 here. I'm going to pull this loop up here, and I'm going to remove my stitch marker as well. And you can see here in between the legs there's like a giant hole. That yarn that we cut earlier, that longer yarn, we're going to use that to sew that little hole closed in the inside here. So I'm going to yarn my needle with this little straggler here. And this is the inside here. You can see between the legs there's this little gap. So we're just going to go around like 2 or 3 times. Probably do 3 times. Just to close that hole up. And then you can stretch it across to make sure that it is closed up here. There we go. Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to tie it in a knot. So we're just going to go underneath a couple of the stitches and then keep your finger in there, come back through that loop, and then pull that through and pull tight. And then you can just shove this little strand in the inside of a leg because that is hidden on the inside. So now you can, you know, separate these, make sure that that hole is closed and there's no big gap or anything. So now we can go on to the next round. Round 8, we are going to increase. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in there, and we can go on to round 8. Round 8, we're going to increase, so let's put 2 single crochets in this next stitch right here. 1 and 2, and then just put 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, next stitch is 2, and the next stitch is 3. And then we're just going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. At the end of round 8, we will have 30 single crochets. So I'll do that, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 9. Alright, now I have my 30 stitches around. I'm moving on to round 9. Rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12. In the next 4 rounds, we are going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So the next 4 rounds, rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12. Just put 1 single crochet in the back loop of each stitch all the way around, and for each of those rounds you'll have the same 30 stitches. Once I'm finished with round 12, I'll come back and we'll go on to round 13 together. Alright, just finished rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12 here for this bunny. Now we're going to come in and create the neck area. So we're going to decrease. So let's move our stitch marker up. And for this round, round 13, we're going to decrease. We're going to do a single crochet 2 together stitch, or a single crochet decrease. So let's go into this next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and that is a single crochet decrease. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, and we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, so go into this next stitch, back loop only, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then single crochet a regular single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So at the end of round 13, you'll have 24 single crochets or 24 stitches all the way around. So I'm just going to repeat this sequence all the way around, and I'll meet you up. We'll go on to round 14 for another decrease next. Alright, so I have 24 stitches around right now. So now we're going to decrease again. Let's move our stitch marker up, and for round 14 we are going to do a single crochet 2 together stitch, just like that. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And then just repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and next one is 2. And at the end of round 14, we will have 18 single crochet stitches around. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for round 15. Alright, you can see this hole is starting to close a little bit. We're going to decrease another time. Let's move our stitch marker up, and for this next round we are going to, let's see, this is round 15 now, we're going to single crochet 2 together. So this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we're just going to single crochet in the next stitch, just like that. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next stitch. Then single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next stitch. At the end of round 15, you should have 12 single crochets around. And you know what? I'm almost there. You could just continue watching. At the end of this round, I'm actually going to stuff this little piece so far, and then we'll go on to making the head. Oops, I got stuck here. There we go. Alright, last stitch. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up here, and there's a little bit of an opening here. We're going to use that and stuff this little body, and then we'll go on to making the head. So just take some polyfill and make sure you get it into each leg. Okay, and just be generous with it, but not too generous where you see the polyfill through the stitches. You don't want to do that. But stuff it enough. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, this thing is going to be so cute. Okay, so stuffing the body. There we go. It's like a little plump little bunny. Awesome. Okay, so now this is what it should look like. Little chubber. Okay, so now going on to the next round. Let's see here, round 16 we're going to increase again. So let me remove the stitch marker and just move it up to this next round here. So round 16 says to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch right here. There we go. 1 and 2, and then put 1 single crochet in the next stitch. 1. And just repeat that sequence all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the stitch after that. Then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next. At the end of this round, you'll have 18 stitches, and then we'll go on to round 17. Alright, just finished round 16 there. I have 18 stitches around. Moving up to round 17. We are going to increase again, back up to 24 stitches. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in the back loop of this next stitch right here. 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, actually in the next 2 stitches, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So 1, and then the next one is 1. And then we're just going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, just like that. And at the end of round 17, you will have 24 stitches. So I'm just going to finish this round and repeat that sequence, and then we'll go on to round 18. Alright, moving my stitch marker up, going on to round 18 now. We are going to increase, so let's put 2 single crochets in this next stitch right here, 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches this round. So 1, 2, and 3, and just repeat that sequence all the way around. At the end of this round, you will have 30 single crochets. So very similar to when we were increasing down here to get to 30 stitches. So I'm just going to do that for this round, just increasing here, and then once I have my 30 stitches, we'll go on to round 19. Alright, so this head is as big or wide as I want it to be, just as much as this stomach here. So now I'm just going to move my stitch marker up, and we are going to do the next 3 rounds, rounds 19, 20, and 21. The next 3 rounds are going to be just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So the next 3 rounds we're just going to have 30 single crochets in each of those rounds. And when I'm finished with round 21, I'll meet you up and we'll start decreasing. Alright, I just did rounds 19, 20, and 21, just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch. Now we want to decrease 1 time here. We are going to decrease down to 24 stitches. Let's single crochet 2 together. We're just repeating round 13 basically. So single crochet 2 together. And then single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then just repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Like I said, we're repeating round 13 here. So I'm just going to do that, and when I have my 24 stitches, we can go on to round 24. Alright, I'm sorry about that. We have to still do round 23. So that was actually round 22, decreasing down to 24 stitches, just repeating round 13 there. So going on to round 23, we are going to create the ears now. Okay, so we're going to split this in half here. So what we have to do is skip 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Skip those 12 stitches. We're going to go into this next stitch, but we're going to flip this over. Just kind of keep your finger on that stitch. And we're going to go into that next stitch right here. So we're going to skip 12 stitches and go in through the front of this like this. Okay, and if you need to count, make sure that there's 12 stitches free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Excuse me. Now we're going to excuse me. We're going to crochet into this stitch here. I came around the way, and actually this yarn right here, our working yarn, has to come on this side of your work, on the other side. So we're actually going to pull this yarn this way and then go into that stitch. Again, make sure that you have 12 free stitches on this side. Go into this stitch right here. Make sure your yarn is behind your work here. Then yarn over and pull it through. Just hook that on your hook and pull it through. Okay? And then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And there is a single crochet now in that stitch. And we're going to single crochet around to in each stitch. So that's 1. And actually we have to work in the back loop. Sorry guys. Back loops only. We don't want to make any weird stitching issues there, weird lines. So there's 1. It's 12 stitches here. Here's 2. Next stitch, 3. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10, 11, and 12. So you should have 12 stitches here. Okay, this was considered round 23. There should be 12 stitches around. We're going to come back and work this ear as well later, but that was round 23. You should have 12 stitches on round 23 here. Going on to rounds 24, 25, 26, and 27. The next 4 rounds, we're just going to work a single crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up to this point here because we're working in continuous rounds, making the ear now, and we're just going to single crochet in each stitch around, making the ear on this side. Once I finish round 27, I'll meet you up. We'll go on to round 28, and then after round 28 of this ear, we have to fasten off and create the other ear. Alright, you can see I did rounds 24, 25, 26, and 27, so there's an ear there. Now what we have to do is just decrease this section to close this off. So round 28, I'm going to move my stitch marker up here. We are going to single crochet 2 together, so go into this next stitch here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and we're going to do that 6 times. So that was 1. So single crochet the next 2 stitches together, there's 2, single crochet the next 2 stitches together, there's 3, here's 4, here's 5, you can see that it's getting really tight up top here, and here is 6. Okay, now there's still a little bit of a hole there, so what I'm going to do is remove the stitch marker. We're going to go into the first stitch here, this very next stitch, skip 2 stitches here, 1, 2, and go into the back loop of this stitch across the way, the 4th stitch, and then yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops to single crochet those 2 together. Now we're just going to chain 1 and cut this yarn, and then pull that through and pull it tight. Then we're going to take a crochet hook, or if you want to, your needle or something, grab that yarn that we just cut through to the inside of your work and just pull that down into the inside of your bunny's head there. And there's an ear. So now I just want to stuff this head before we attach the next ear, because otherwise we won't have any room to stuff it or anything. So get some stuffing in there. You don't have to stuff the ear can just stay flat. No stuffing has to go in there. Okay, just like that. Make sure it's nice and plump, a plump head there. Alright, perfect. Now what we want to do is attach the yarn to the next free stitch on round 22. So right here, okay, this stitch right here in the back loop, we are going to attach our yarn. So just take your yarn, fold it in half kind of like this, and just hook it onto your hook. And then just pull it through, okay, and we are going to then chain up 1 to attach it. So now it's attached. And we're going to single crochet into that same stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to single crochet in 12 stitches. So that was 1, go to the next, here's 2, next stitch is 3, 4, 5, here's 6, 7, 8, here's 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now this is the beginning of the round right here. Okay, I'm not going to put my stitch marker in there, but if you want to, you can put your stitch marker in here. And now for the next 4 rounds, rounds 24 to 28, so that was round 23, and we're back to the beginning here. There's no more stitches to work. But there will be a split right here. We are going to go in and sew that closed later. So I'm going to just stuff this in there. We're going to go into this first stitch right here. For rounds 24 to 28, just repeat the same concept we did for this. So single crochet around for 4 rounds, and then decrease to 6 stitches for round 28, and then fasten off by closing the top. I'll meet you up when I fasten the top closed, and then I'll show you how to close this center hole, because there will be one there. So I'll repeat what we did for the other ear, and then I'll meet you up when we're about to close this area between the 2 ears. Alright, so I just fastened this ear off just like I did this one. So, but now you can see there's a big giant hole there. So just like we did between the legs here, we're going to do that between the ears here. So I'm going to grab a piece of yarn, and I'm just going to yarn a needle with just a random piece of yarn. Okay, and then we're just going to go around some stitches. starting from this front and then just going around to the back. And you probably just need to do it like 2 or 3 times, and that should close up that area perfectly. Then what you're going to do, I'm going to just trail this along the way back to the front where this other strand is, and I'm just going to tie those two in a knot, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to cut these 2 strands, and then take my crochet hook inside, okay, and just pull those then. And you can yarn your needle and push it through, or you can get your crochet hook through the stitches and just pull it into the inside. And nobody will ever know. And that's how that looks. So there it is so far. Now what we have to do is make the arms and the face. So let's grab, I'm going to set this aside and grab the purple yarn, and we're going to make the arms. So arms are super simple. We're going to just make a slip knot, which you know how to do already, and we are going to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2. And in that second chain from the hook, we're going to put 6 single crochets. So basically round 1 of the leg when we were making the legs. So 1, here's 2, whoopsie, here's 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now I'm going to stick my stitch marker in there, and just like the body, we were working in the back loops only and in continuous rounds. That's what we're going to do for the arms, and we're going to, for rounds 2 through 8, so rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we are going to just put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, just like this. So no increasing or anything, just making long arms. You can even go more than 8 rounds if you want to make your arms long or longer, but I'm going to end on round 8, so I'm going to just single crochet in each stitch around, and there's round 1 already, or I'm sorry, round 2 already done. Going on to round 3 now, moving the stitch marker up and working in the back loops, and just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to do that until I finish round 8, and when I am done with round 8, I will come back and we will go on to the next step. Alright, when you're finished with round 8, we are going to just slip stitch to the next stitch. You can go under both loops there, yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn long for sewing. So I'm going to cut it about, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches. That's probably a little too long, but long enough to sew this piece onto your bunny here. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and if your straggler is kind of hanging out here, you can kind of just shove it to the inside of your piece there. There we go. Okay, well, there you go. We don't have to stuff these. I'm not going to stuff my little arms here, but I just need you to rewind this and make one more exactly the same here. Make sure they match. There we go. And they're the same size. Perfect. So now when you have both arms done, you can attach them to your bunny. And to do that, we are going to yarn our needle. Okay. And on this one, on one of the arms, we are going to not fasten this off because we're actually going to use this long strand to sew on the heart as well, which we still have to make. So choose which side you want the front to be. Maybe I want this side to be the front. And then we'll just sew it on around some stitches here. Okay. And I want my little bunny to be holding the heart with this arm, but you can choose which side you want the heart to be on. And what you'll have to do then is just go around these stitches like that, and then into the bunny's body, and just kind of whip stitch this, pinning it down. And you just have to do it 3 times. Okay, just like that. But for this arm, I want it to hold the heart like this, so I'm not actually going to fasten this one off. I'm just going to pin it on there and leave it. And then for this other side, I'm going to actually sew this one on. So I'm going to yarn my needle and sew this one on. Kind of like how I sewed that other one on, but I am actually going to fasten this one off. So I'll show you how to do that. Let me just go through these 3 stitches. There's one. And I'm going a little faster for the camera, but you don't have to, you can take your time, you know, make sure it's positioned right where you want it and everything looks good. Perfect. And then to fasten this off, we're just going to go through a few of the stitches like so, and then we're going to keep our finger in this loop here, come back through the loop, and then just pull tight. Okay? And then we're just going to insert this into the bunny and pull tight, and then cut extra and just stretch it out so it's good. Okay, so this is the front of my bunny. So this arm is going to hold the heart. This one is going to just have its arm down like this. So now we have to make the heart and then make a face. So let's make the heart first and then make the face next, because I don't want the heart to be covering the face at all. So I'm going to make the heart next. So let me grab some pink yarn and I'll be right back. Alright, I got some pink yarn. We're going to start out by making a slip knot. And for the heart, it's very similar to how we actually started the bunny legs. We're going to make one little, the hump of the heart, and then fasten off, and then make the other hump of the heart and attach them. So what we're going to do is start off by chaining 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. So right in here, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and if you want to, add your stitch marker right there, because we are working in continuous rounds. And we are working in the back loops only, just like we did for the body. So now for round 2, we are putting 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, repeating round 2 of the legs of the bunny. So 1, 2, hop to the next, 3, 4, next stitch, 5, 6, next stitch 7, 8, next stitch 9, 10, and last stitch 11 and 12. So you should have 12 stitches on round 2. Move that stitch marker up. For the next 2 rounds, rounds 3 and 4, I'm just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So no increasing on this round, rounds 3 and 4. So when I finish round 4, I'll meet you up. We'll fasten this one off, and then we'll go on to making the other one. Alright, just did round 3 and 4, so now I'm going to fasten off, so you know how to do that. Just go underneath the next stitch in those 2 loops, the yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1. And for this one, we're going to just cut it a little bit longer, because we are going to use that for sewing when we attach the other piece. So I'm just going to pull that through that chain 1 and pull tight. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and we have our first one done. So now I just need to repeat this same thing for rounds 1 through 4 on the next piece. I'm going to set this aside, and once I finish rounds 1 through 4, we are actually not going to fasten off. We are going to attach the 2 pieces. So when I finish round 4 of this next one, just repeat what we did. Then once I finish round 4 of this next one, then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 5 together. Alright, I just repeated what we did for the other little piece here, so I have these 2, but this one is attached to the yarn ball still. So with that working yarn, what we're going to do now is this next round, I'm going to stick my stitch marker up in here, and for round 5, we are going to attach these 2 pieces to make the 2 pieces like a heart, and then we're going to close the bottom up. We have a few more rounds to do, of course, to make it a heart shape, but what we're going to do for round 5 is single crochet on this piece all the way around for the 12 stitches. So I'm just going to single crochet just like we did rounds 3 and 4, just putting one single crochet in each stitch around on this piece for round 5, and then we get back to the beginning here. We're going to attach the other piece similarly to how we did the legs of the bunny, just like that. So I'm all the way back around those 12 stitches. Now let's grab this piece here and insert your hook into, make sure your yarn is in the back here, make sure you insert your hook into this where you fastened off in this back loop of this last stitch right here. You can go in, oops, there we go, go into there, and then grab your working yarn and then yarn over and pull it through there, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then single crochet in each stitch on this piece as well. So that was 1, so go to the next, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that, my friends, is round 5. So we just attached the 2 pieces. Going on to the next round, we are hopping over onto this stitch right here. So every stitch is worked into, so our next round is right here. So I'm going to move the stitch marker up, and we're going to go into this first stitch right here. And for round 6 here, so round 5 should have 24 stitches around. Round 6 is just a single crochet in each stitch around for the same total. This round will have 24 stitches. So I'm just going to single crochet in each stitch around for round 6, and then I'll meet you up, we'll go on to round 7 together. Alright, just finished round 6 there. I just single crocheted around, so I have, again, the same 24 stitches around. So now we have this little hole in the center here, just like we had on the bunny's legs there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So we're going to close this hole with this strand that we cut earlier from piece number 1. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker. We're going to grab our yarn needle and yarn our needle with that little strand. Okay, and just like we did for the bunny's legs, we're just going to go around 2 or 3 times in the center here. Oops, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to just go around a couple of stitches, keep our finger in the loop, come back through the loop, and then pull tight. Okay, and that is secure, and you can shove this into one of the little nubs here. And that hole is closed. Looks good. So now you have to decrease. So let's move our stitch marker up and go on to round 7. We are going to single crochet 2 together. So you remember how to do that. Just go in this next stitch here. Yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. At the end of this round, round 7, you should have 18 stitches around. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you up for the next round. Alright, going on to round 8 now. I have my 18 stitches around. For round 8, we are just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So we'll be basically repeating round 6. We're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for round 9. Alright, round 9, we're going to decrease again. Let's move our stitch marker up. Single crochet 2 together. And then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and just repeat that sequence all the way around. At the end of round 9 you'll have 12 single crochets. So I'll do that and then I'll meet you up for round 10. Alright, moving the stitch marker up for round 10, we are repeating, round 6 or round 8, just putting one single crochet in each stitch around. So it's very simple. I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 11 next. Alright, just finished round 10 there. We're going to pull this up a little bit. There's still a little bit of room in there. We're going to stuff this heart. If you don't want to stuff your heart, you can have a nice flat heart and have your little bunny be holding a flat heart, which is also very cute as well. But I'm going to stuff this one, so let me grab some polyfill and just stuff some polyfill in the heart there, making a nice plump heart. Okay, and then once we have enough in there, we can close up the bottom. Okay, we just have to go on to round 11 here. We are going to move that stitch marker up, of course. Single crochet 2 together, and we're going to do that 6 times. So single crochet these 2 together, much like we did the very top of the ears on our bunny, if you remember that. We're going to single crochet 2 together all the way around. Okay, so I got some polyfill in that stitch. So just single crochet 2 together all the way around. So you should have 6 stitches at the end of this round. And for round 12, our last round, oopsie, that's a regular single crochet, sorry. We are going to, let me get to the end here. I have just 2 more stitches left to single crochet together. And once you have your 6 stitches on round 11 here, we can go on to round 12, our last round, and that is moving our stitch marker up. We are going to single crochet in each stitch around. So it's going to be quite tight. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see all of your stitches. Make sure you're going into the back loops of each stitch. There we go. There's 1, here's 2, next stitch 3, there's 4, here's 5, and 6. Okay, and then just like I showed you for the ear, we were single crocheting in this next stitch, skipping 2 stitches and going across the way to this 4th stitch, then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we can fasten this off. So just cut your yarn. Oh, I didn't chain 1. I'm going to chain 1 here, pull it through, and then pull tight. Remove the stitch marker, grab either your needle or a hook or something, and pull that strand through to the inside of your heart. And then kind of just shape it to be looking like a heart. Squeeze it around, push everything, push the polyfill around, and there you have a cute heart. How super fabulous! So now we can attach it to our little bunny. We have this long strand that we were using earlier. We are going to yarn our needle with that strand. And then you can decide if you want your heart to be sideways or straight up and down, if you want both arms to be hugging the heart like that, or if you want just one arm to be hugging the heart or holding it on its side. It's totally up to you. However you want to sew this on is fine with me because it's your heart. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go through to the inside of this bunny, to the inside of the heart, kind of just like going right through the heart. Oh my gosh. Shot through the heart. You know that song. Okay, so we're just going to pull that all the way through. And then we're going to take our hand here of our little bunny here and just tack that on. And then just go back through to the inside. And you can see I'm going through to the inside there, and then back out up here. Okay, so all the way through, and he's holding the heart. And you can pull it tight, however tight you want it. Okay, and then back here, we are going to go through a few of the stitches. And you can see I'm manipulating this piece however I need it to be able to get access to the stitches. So don't be afraid to stretch it out or move things around until you can tie off your knot. And then take this and go into the bunny all the way through and hide this end into the bunny, and then just cut any extra and stretch it out. And there you have a bunny holding a little heart. Now last thing I want to do is just make a little face, and that's it. So let's grab some black yarn. You can grab black yarn, pink yarn, orange yarn, I don't care what color you're using. I'm just going to use some black here. And for the mouth, right in the center here, we're going to make a little upside down V. So I'm going to go from this spot right here, this dead center, go right down to one side. Okay, let's see, let's hide that out of the way. And then going back up through it to the other side, right about there. Okay, and then back up into here. Oops. Actually through this yarn right here. There you go. And then we're going to tie these two ends in a knot. Up at the top here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these short. I'm going to take these two on my needle. Just yarn your needle with those two strands, and then go into right in there, through to the other side, just pulling that in. And there you have a little mouth. Perfect! Then we can just cut this extra in the back here and then stretch it out so nobody can see that. Okay, and then for the eyes, we are going to, I'll just show you one here, or I guess I could do both of them here. We're going to yarn our needle and then choose where you want the eye to go, going down underneath here, and we're going to just wrap around twice, or I'm sorry, 3 or 4 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then we're going to cut this strand, sorry. Cut these 2 strands. Be careful with your scissors. Okay, and then we're going to tie these 2 in a knot at the bottom here of the eye. Okay, just embroidering those, and then grab your yarn needle, and just like the nose, we're going to yarn our needle with those 2 strands, go to the bottom of this eye here, to the other side, and pull. And there we have a cute little eye. And then you can just cut any extra yarn in the back here that you have, and then just stretch that out. And there's the eye. Okay, so I just have to make the other eye. I'm just going to do the same exact thing, just yarning my needle, and I'll show you where I'm going to position it. But you can use the photos as a guide as well. I'm just going to position it right here. And so I'm just going to attach this other eye, and then I'll meet you up. Alright, I just sewed on the other eye, and there it is. How cute is this Love Bunny? I had so much fun making it. He's all done. You can, if you wanted to, you could add a little tail back there, but this is just the front. You can give this to somebody for, you know, Valentine's Day, or just somebody you love. I think it was a lot of fun to make. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe to our channel so you can get the update on when we post our next video. And like this video, thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Happy hooking!